Hi everyone, welcome back to Eye of the Stars Story. Today we're talking about Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order. I played both of these games. I played Survivor last month and I'm playing Fallen Order this month. I know I did it out of order, but that's just how I was feeling about doing it. So let's go and jump right into it. First off, there is something I did not notice from the last game. And I did not notice from any of the games really because I just kind of sped right through them. I like to get them done fast. I didn't really do any of the Force Echoes, and I didn't really let BD scan any of the objects that we went by. So, if I went by an animal that he wanted to scan, I would just run by until he caught back up. Same with Force Echoes. I would see them, or I just wouldn't look for them. And I realized how much information I lost going back through and playing the games. I realized how much information I lost. Like, in the first Force Echo that Cal actually does, you get all this information about how he was a kid whenever, how he had it since he was a kid, and really helped him understand some things. Like, he could touch certain objects and he could see the past. But I never really went through and I never really went through and did any of those. I only did the necessary ones to get the things that you needed, like Order 66 whenever you touch the wall on Dathomir. I only did that Force Echo because it was necessary. It wouldn't allow me to otherwise. But with everything else, I would just run by it if I didn't see it was necessary. But this time, this last time around with both the games, I took my time exploring. I had fun exploring and just getting to see what all the Force Echoes were about and what it had to offer. The next thing I noticed is that everything is tied to the main storyline. I know I've talked about this in other videos, but everything is tied to the main storyline. Or if you're given side missions, they're not really... some of them are really thrilling, I'm trying to remember what the name of this mission is called in Jedi Survivor. I believe it's something like Save the Jawas or something, and you have to do all this hardcore obstacle running, and you have to have every ability unlocked, because every single ability plays in this obstacle course. And you save them, and then they give you, this little metal piece that you can then go take to that one shop lady, and she will exchange it for lightsaber parts and all that. But I never really did any of those because they all tied to the story. There was no really need for me to go back through and really go do a whole lot because I just never really saw fit, and there was nothing really after you did. I never realized how boring the games were. They weren't boring when we were first playing them. They were really fun, they were exciting, they had a lot of interest in it, and I still love the games, don't get me wrong. But I never realized how easily bored you could get in Jedi Fallen Order unless you were going back through and replaying the game. If you're going back through and replaying the game, all the excitement, all the anticipation built back up. But if you were just going to go run around, there's nothing for you really to go do. After you explored all the Force Echoes and after you opened all the crates, there's nothing for you really to go do. Except run around the planets again. So don't get me wrong, I still love the games. I do not find them boring. I'm just simply saying that after you've completed everything, there's nothing for you really to do. So then you're just waiting around trying to figure out something else to do because you've beat the game. I think my favorite part in each game is probably Order 66 and Jedi Fallen Order. Now let me explain. I love how you get to see so many new aspects and you learn a lot about Cal during that flashback. You learn a lot about how he was so timid. You can see how scared he is whenever his master looks over at him while they're he's opening the escape pod and then he ducks and cower. You can tell how fearful he is, but then he realizes that he's losing somebody important, so he stands up. So if he realizes that he's going to lose something important, or he knows he's losing something important, he will stand up for it. But he also cowers because he's a normal person. He has fear. And that's why he went hiding. That's why he didn't really like to show himself. That's why he didn't want anybody to know he could use the Force. That's why he kept his lightsaber hidden behind his poncho while he was working on Bronca. He didn't want anybody to know because he feared what would happen if anybody did know. And later on, he lost his friend, and that fear came true. He lost somebody else he cared for. So that was my favorite part, though, because we learned a lot about Cal and what he was like as a kid, kind of. Something I did this last time around playing through is I actually stood in his room, the room that you start in whenever you do that flashback, and I just looked around everything. I'm like, okay, holocron on the bed, kind of weird. Bed's not made. Oh, why does he have a TV right there? I don't even have that. Why? And I'm not saying I don't ever want a TV in my room. I don't like them. I don't like TVs in people's rooms. I was just like saying, like, we were all kind of laughing about that. I'm like, what? Like, it was just funny going back there and looking around his room. We're like, okay, training droids just in your middle of the room. What happens if they wake up and just like start training you, don't be a lightsaber on you? Then what? Like, I just thought it was all funny. And then interacting with all the clones on that was also really fun. How some of them were like cheering you on like you were going to do really good in training, and then others were talking about how they were finally going to be moved off Bronca and that they were going to be done off this planet that they didn't like. That was probably my favorite part in Jedi Fallen Order. Now, Jedi Survivor, it's probably whenever they're going through the abyss. I think that scene is so funny with Grease, and then Miriam and Cal are just like so chill about it, you know, and they're just like, okay, fine, whatever, you know. The saddest part in both games, though, was... I'm sorry. I don't like to talk about the saddest parts in games. They always make me sad again. So, the saddest part in, I think, Jedi Fallen Order was... I know I said it was my favorite, but it's also my least favorite, is whenever Master Tapal passes away. I don't like it. It always makes me sad. But I always laugh at the end of seeing Cal's reaction. That scream is just always funny to me. But I also thought it was fun. I also like Order 66, as I said, because you learn a lot about Cal. But I don't like watching Master Tapal pass away. It's not my thing. I don't like it. And then Survivor, the saddest part for me is whenever he loses everyone. That scene hurt. Like, Seer, and that just hurt. I was so sad. Like, especially because I saw all that confidence, like, building up, and I was finally, like, I was the last one out of my family to play it, so everybody else had beaten the game by the time that it was my turn to play it. So I finally got to see what happened to Seer, and she jumped on Vader. I'm like, okay, yes, you're gonna make it out alive. Like, we all know that this is not where Vader dies, but you will make it out alive because of that. And then she gets him in the arm, like, right there. And she doesand even stab him, and instead it's the opposite way around. I was so sad. I was like, no. And I was really sad about that. I do like BD in both games. BD is always really funny with the joke here and there. We're still trying to figure out what this joke was, or he's like got any good jokes and he's climbing that one thing and BD tells it to him. We looked that up and there were some pretty good ones, but we never got a straight answer on what it was. So I was really hoping to figure that out. There's still not. I really hope that we get a straight answer eventually. But I like BD in both games. He's really fun and just funny with his characteristic. I think BD will probably always be one of my favorite droids. I want to get the Lego set of him to build. I'm just waiting because the price is a little bit much for my liking. So I'm waiting on that because of the pricing. But other than that, I love BD as a character. I love him as a droid. I wish that we could actually physically play as BD. I think that'd be so cool. But I don't mind running around as Cal, and I don't mind seeing the character development from the first game to the second game. It was amazing. I was definitely sad with Bode, especially, like, I was like, I trusted you this entire time, and now you're like, yeah, it's Olfaketa, or however you pronounce his kid's name. I'm like, and you were working with the Empire the entire time. Like, okay, ouch. That hurt. And then now every single time I go back, like, now whenever I go back through and play the game, I'm like, I already don't like you because I know what happens. So don't even try that. Just don't. I already know what's gonna happen. So don't even try. But that's all I have to say about Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. And also, God bless. Bye, guys.